Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut. Welcome back to the Baseball Hut 2, and hopefully you like this video. And hit that subscribe button. As you know, there are many players that were on PEDs and they got suspended, and one of them that got suspended. And now Outkick has the nerve to ask where his power has gone. This is a rather amusing kind of article. Let me read the headline. Whereas Padres slugger Fernando Tatis Jr.'s power gone. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio, as well? Padres star's slugging percentage dropped to career low 431. Well, you know, not for nothing. He's not on steroids anymore. That helps. San Diego Padres have once again put themselves in position to make the postseason, sitting in the 5th seed in the National League. 3.5 games clear of the Reds for a playoff spot. For a team with players like Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, and Fernando Tatis Jr., you'd think that it was the San Diego's offense pushing the team towards contention. Instead, it's been the pitching staff, especially the bullpen, which has been baseball's best, that's carrying the team. I will make a prediction on that bullpen. It will implode like it normally does in the postseason. And part of the reason they always implode is because there's no pressure there in San Diego. All the years I can remember being a Mets fan, all I ever heard about is how great the bullpens are in San Diego. And then they get moved, or they go to other teams, or they pitch in big spots. These guys suck every time. And it's because there's no pressure there. The weather's beautiful all the time. There's never any kind of problems there. Never. And that's why their bullpens are always good. We had Trevor Hoffman blow an all-star game because he couldn't handle the pressure. A little bit of pressure. That's a guy who's giving up home runs in the World Series to the Yankees. Remember Scott Brosius? Yeah, let Scott Brosius beat you. But Trevor Hoffman did. But meanwhile, he's got all these saves. He had 600 saves in his career? So there's only one Mariano Rivera. But again, even before Hoffman got there, they always had good bullpens every year. They had a pitcher who's a reliever won the Cy Young Award. And that's not a joke. San Diego's been just 2.8 runs above average offensively this year, good for just 14.4 wins above replacement from their position players. The pitching staff, however, ranks 4th in the league with a 15 WAR. That's still not the most surprising part about the Padres' production this season. It's the fact that the team's power output has been mediocre. Thanks partially to the team's best offensive player seeing his once top-tier power all but evaporate. Well, surprisingly for a team in playoff contention, the Padres have hit just 106 home runs as of Wednesday afternoon. That ranks 29th out of 30 teams, wow, ahead of just the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates. For the comparison, the Yankees have hit 204 homers, San Diego's nearly 100 behind the league leader. Heck, they're 81 behind the team they're chasing in the NL West, the LA Dodgers. Again, this is a team with Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts, and Fernando Tatis Jr. What in the world is happening? Well, one of the primary culprits, other than Merrill's battling injuries and having a disappointing second season in the league, is the fact that Tatis has gone from one of baseball's most prolific power hitters to someone who hasn't hit a homer in 83 at-bats. He's hit just one home run since the All-Star break. His slugging percentage in 2021 was .611. This season, .431. What's the explanation? Well, it's funny you should ask. Nobody's quite sure. Though, after the 2021 season, Tatis was popped for testing positive for cholesterol, a banned steroid. Since returning in 2023, his slugging percentages have been far, far below .611. Though this year is a new career low, some Padres coaches have suggested his contact point is to blame. He's still been a well above average hitter thanks to an improved on-base percentage and declined strikeout rate, and position and positive defensive metrics have contributed to a 5-win season. Still, wherever it is, they'll have to figure it out fast. Teams that don't hit homers rarely advance deep in the postseason. Or maybe this is just who Tatis is, and that might be even scarier. I would say this about this particular player, is that the Padres signed him to a massive contract early on in his career. I think that is one of the biggest mistakes that teams can make. It's not knowing the character and the personality well enough for a player. You sign these guys to these massive contracts, and you don't have a better idea of how they are as people. And then they have these situations where they get in trouble. This guy's a pretty good example of it. This was him just hurting himself, really. And then, of course, we had the real extreme situation, Wander Franco, of the Rays signing him to a massive contract. And he had a terrible situation, terrible person. But that's why I'm not a big fan of these guys. And then, of course, Jackson Merrill signed the big contract, and he's hurt all year. He's had a terrible year. Why do that so quick? I don't understand why teams do this. Let them earn it. I mean, 6 years goes quickly, but it doesn't go that quickly, I mean, how much money are you saving for yourselves? Let them keep producing and producing and producing. Give him incentive. Give them all incentives to produce well. But that's probably why the reason that his power has probably declined, and his slugging percentage has declined, is because he's not on that stuff, and it's slowly coming out of his body, and that's probably what's happened here. But power hitters are weird. They go through these stretches where they don't hit home runs for stretches, and then they get hot all of a sudden. You always go back to where the baseball card says anyway. So, but you let me know what you think about this video, and of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 2. And I'll see you later.